been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory Mo.
What's up with it, man? Your boy Cory Mo back off in this thing for a very special edition of Country Rap Tunes podcast today. I'm going to be interviewing my beautiful co-host, Miss Kimberly Latrice Jones, and she will be interviewing me. So this is real live pimping going on. Yeah. So I don't know how she about to introduce me, but go ahead.
Today, we have Grammy Award-winning, multi-platinum producer, the illest of them all, the king of tabernacle that will take you to church with them tunes that he be tuning that sound like the sweet syrup of molasses dripping off a tree. He is the king of country rap tunes on the ones and twos with the people bop bop ba doo bop 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 ba boo bop 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 ba dow. We got the king of country rap tunes, Cory Mo.
I am in the building. You know what I'm talking about? And Kimbo Slice with the dice is in the building too, because we go back like time machines, and that's just how it go down.
And you know what it is, tabernacle
so
charge.
Look here, Kim. I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna get into your head and into your mind and into your life.
Best of luck to you.
So I'm gonna take it all the way back, because you know what I'm saying. I know we go back like car seats, but we don't go back this far. So when exactly did you start writing? How did it happen? How did you get the bug?
So I started writing when I was about 8 or 9 years old, right?
Youngster,
maybe even a little bit younger, maybe closer to like 7. Whenever I had a good grip on language enough to write is when I started writing. So during the summertime, my mother would send us to stay with my grandmother. My grandmother had a farm in rural Illinois. And so for summer break, we would stay. Especially me, I would stay with my grandma for the summer. And, you know, my grandmother had acres and acres of land, so I had all this free space to, like, run. She had strawberry fields and patches, I could just go sit in the strawberry patch with my little journal and write. It was like something picturesque out of like a Hallmark card. You know what I mean? And so back then, you're talking in the 80s, it wasn't much for me to do. My grandmother had 2 little TVs. She ain't had no cable. And then she had 1 little black and white TV she let me have in my room, and I could get shows like Andy Griffith and the Jeffersons and maybe a few other shows, but that was it. And so to entertain myself, as soon as I would get to her farm, she would take me to this little country corner store, and she would let me get 2 things every time to start the summer, a book and a journal. So I get 1 book and 1 journal to start the summer, and I would just spend my summers journaling. I actually still have one of them. I was looking at it the other day. I still have one of them from those summers. But yeah, it started with spending summers on my grandmother's farm, and that's how I entertained myself, was to write stories.
And you the baby of 7?
Baby of 7.
You kidding me? How was that? I mean, you had to be super spoiled. How did that go?
You know what's so funny? So my family is very much so the Black Brady Bunch, right? Okay. Definitely the Black Brady Bunch. So my mother had 4 children. She had my brother Cricket, my brother D, my sister Gigi, and me. And then my mother married her and my stepdad got together when I was 4. And they got married when I was 10. And so my stepdad was a widow. His wife had passed away. So he had 3 kids. So I had 2 brothers and a sister. Now, we were all raised to treat each other the same. Yeah. It was not, her 4 and his 3. It was like, it's 7 of us. And that's how we are still to this day. So we only like explain that we're step siblings or whatever the case may be when we're explaining that to outsiders. But for us, it's 7 of us. And that's how we was raised. That's it. That's all. That's period. And so I'm the youngest. So I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Both of my sisters are still with me. I only have 1 of my brothers left. 3 of my brothers have passed over the years. But being a baby, I was rotten.
Did they ever beat up anybody for you?
All the time. All the time. I was a rotten brat. I remember my brother Cricket, man, he rest in peace. He passed in 2021. I remember this little girl was riding down the street and she had this pink Huffy bike with the banana seat, this pink banana seat. I wanted that bike so bad. And I kept telling Cricket, man, I really like that bike. I want that. Now my brother went and stole that little girl bike and brought it home.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, he did.
He went and stole her bike.
Stole that girl bike and gave it to me.
Now that's love, right? That's love. That's what you call love.
I sure did. I used to be riding it all over the neighborhood like it wasn't stolen. Listen, my brothers was the plug because see, my brothers, all four of my brothers, when it came to the ladies, they was them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So girls, you know when you got that many kids, especially back then in the 80s in the black family, you know we responsible for each other. So my brothers' jobs all the time was babysitting me. That was like they ongoing constant job of all of my older siblings. Like one of y'all got to take the baby with y'all. Y'all can disperse and do whatever y'all want.
My brother hated babysitting me, boy.
Yes, they all had to babysit me. If they was all going out, whoever left, one of them that was left was like, wherever you going, Kim better be able to go too, or you ain't going. So girls was like enamored with my brothers because my brothers was all them dudes. They was them niggas. So girls would buy me stuff to try to impress my brother, you know, like, oh, that's so sweet. You got your little sister. I remember this one girl bought me a little pocketbook. Girls used to buy me ice cream, little dresses, dolls, all kind of. I used to rack up batting my eyes at them niggas bitches.
This girl, boy. You off the chain.
So so how many kids are in your family? How many of y'all is it?
It's just me and my brother. So I got one older brother. We 6 years apart. Mike Mo. Shout out to Mike Mo. Believe it or not, I probably wouldn't even be doing music if it wasn't for him because he used to rap way back. He graduated from high school back in like 89. So he used to rap in a rap group in high school, and they used to win all the talent contests, and like, you know what I mean? The whole city knew about him and his rap group. So I'm 6 years younger in the next room next to him, so I wanted to be like him. I wanted to, like, shit, he rapping, I want to rap too. So, you know what I mean? I started writing in like 5th, 6th, 7th grade. I started writing and started rapping, and I just wanted to be like my big brother, and the next thing you knew, I started winning talent contests, and they wanted me to come perform, and then it, you know what I mean? So it was a trip. I just wanted to be like him, man.
No, it's like that. Because my sister Gigi, who's the closest in age to me, we're 6 years apart, and same thing. I always wanted to do whatever Gigi did. Mm-hmm. I thought whatever Gigi did was cool. Yeah. But she was nice to me too. Like, unlike a lot of sibling relationships, like when people be annoyed, like, no, Gigi always like was nice to me, would let me go. She's probably the reason that I am like such a big personality because whereas other people might have found it annoying, this like big bubbly personality on this kid, my sister Gigi encouraged that. Like she was entertained by it. Like she would be like, Kim, come here. Kim, she would motivate me. She'd be like, Kim, just rap that little song. My sister be rapping. Kim, rap that little song for him. The little song you did.
Same thing my brother did. Yep.
You used to work somewhere in high school that paid for your equipment. So you started leaning into that book early.
So it kind of started like I was working at this place called Merry Go Round in the mall.
The clothing store?
Yeah, I used to work at Merry Go Round.
Not the Merry Go Round. You just took me back.
Boy, I used to go hard. Boy, I used to get commissions selling them leather jackets and clothes. Boy, I used to rack it up. And then I ended up working at this place called Ogden, which is, I used to fuel airplanes at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. Wow. So me and my brother both worked at this damn airport, and we used to fuel airplanes, man. It was a trip. I would literally go up to the wing of the airplane, check all of the measurements. I would put the fuel line into the bottom of the wing and be putting thousands of pounds in the left wing, put another 1,000 in the right wing. Like, I was doing that shit at a young age. It was a trip, man. I cannot believe I used to fuel airplanes. But anyway, long story short, me and my brother saved up all our money from fueling the airplanes to pay for studio equipment. And in my garage is where we had the studio, but the reason it got started is because I used to cut everybody's hair. You know what I'm saying? I was hustling. I was $5 a head. in junior high. I cut everybody hair. After school, everybody would come to my house to play basketball. So I'm cutting hair, everybody playing basketball, and it just the garage slowly turned into a studio. I don't know how, but we just started buying shit, buying speakers, buying this, buying a keyboard, and then the whole garage just turned into a studio. And the next thing you know, we round that whole promoting a studio, recording everybody. So that shit was a trip, man. It was a trip. So, but look.
But how did y'all promote the studio? How did everybody know to come?
Okay, so to promote the studio, man, so we used to go to Kinko's, and we used to print out flyers of like lime green, bright orange, bright yellow flyers, and it would say demo deal, $150 demo deal, come record with us. So we passed that shit out, we put it on people's cars, we go to the club. Next thing you know, everybody calling our phone, I want a demo deal. I want to come record. So we had demo deals, and then we would give out studio time at all the talent shows for the winner. So the winner of the talent shows would win free studio time at our studio. So a couple years go by, man, we got the whole city in our studio. It was a trip. So, it was just some old guerrilla marketing tactic. You know what I'm saying? Old school pimping.
See, I feel like some of that stuff still work if people just do it because everybody's so used to doing everything digital now that they think that that's the only way. And you do have to do your digital marketing. I'm not saying that you don't have to do it, but I'm saying that market is also saturated. So when you go back to analog systems, it catches people so off guard. Like one of my friends that was one of my closest friends when I lived in California, his name's West Coast. To me, he's been one of the smartest marketers I've ever met in terms of just like music and ideas. He's the one who put me onto to the idea of really owning my own streaming app because he started a Roku channel like over a decade ago and started talking about doing it. I remember me and him having that conversation when my son was a newborn and my son just turned 18. And he was talking about he was getting ready to get his own Netflix. And this was when Netflix was even still having to where you sit the CDs, that they hadn't even really gone digital. He was looking at the Napster model saying we can do that for content. And then when Roku came out, he's the person who put me on that Roku channels are for free. Yeah. Like you don't have to, Roku will give you the channel for free. You just have to be able to build it out. And so we started this Roku channel together called Beast TV back in like 2010. Damn. Like 2010 or something like that. And it didn't
So did you ever work in the music business or?
Yeah. So, okay, here's the part that's funny is that even though my success has come from books and TV and film, people don't realize my real original passion was music. I come from a big musical family. Like my favorite.
I heard you could sing a little bit.
I used to be able to sing a tune or two. Back in the day. My favorite cousin Bobby, his grandmother is Dinah Washington. B.B. King is related to us. Like my uncle Sammy Fender was a well-known blues guitarist. My mother was in a singing group with all her first cousins. Her and all our first cousins used to have a gospel singing group that was known in the city of Chicago. Like they would do all of the big gospel conventions and churches would bring them out and all of that. And it's funny because here's the small world we live in. One of my mother's first cousins, Purcell, was in that singing group with my mother. You work with his grandson, his namesake, Purcell.
The boy jamming. Yeah. Shout out to Purcell, man. Jamming, man.
Yeah, so Purcell is named after his grandfather, whose name was Purcell. But his grandfather, Purcell, was my mother's first cousin. So Purcell, my mother, my cousin Bobby, whose grandmother's Dinah Washington, his mom, Bessie, all of them were in a singing group called the Jones Singers.
Oh, damn.
And they were like a known gospel group. So music is, and I'm a PK. My grandma was a preacher. My mother eventually became a preacher. So I grew up having to be in church. Right. I was in church 7 days a week. Church kids be the worst.
The worst.
So I grew up in church around music. My grandfather, rest in peace, Pops, my grandfather played the guitar. So on Sunday mornings, we would go to my grandmother's church. My grandmother would preach. My grandfather would run the music ministry and play his guitar, which he only know how to play the blues. So he would just do blues remixes of gospel tunes.
I know that's right.
And so I wanted to be a rapper. That's how this all started. 10-year-old me.
Me and you both. Ain't that something?
Yep. 10-year-old me wanted to be a rapper. And I remember I used to get Miami bass, Miami used to put out Miami bass beat tapes. That was just the beats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I would go get Miami bass beat tapes, and in my double recorder, I would press play and let the Miami bass beats start playing, and then I would record my vocals on top of that. And the whole thing started with me wanting to be a rapper. I started a rap group in my neighborhood. None of them could rap, so I wrote everybody in the group's raps.
What?
Yeah, I wrote. It was like 8 girls in the group. And I wrote everybody's rap. I kept a little notebook, and I wrote everybody's verse and just get them their verse, and we would do talent shows and stuff. And so when I went out to the when I came to Atlanta, when I got to Atlanta, I was trying to find. I was 19. It was 1995. I was trying to find jobs. I reached out to my cousin Gerald, who was locked up. We called him Dum Dum. My cousin Dum Dum. I reached out to him. He was locked up. And he connected me with Dallas to get an internship at Dallas. So I got my internship at DART in the middle of fucking Freaknik, right? Damn. In the middle of Freaknik, I'm working at DART as an intern for Dallas. And the cool thing about when you're the intern, it was your job to relieve the receptionist. So a lot of times when I would be at DART, the receptionist would, go out, and I would have to cover the desk. Well, you cover the desk at DART right then. You talking to everybody. You talking to everybody in the business on the phone. You're interacting with everybody in the business when they come to the desk.
Plug.
Yeah, it was like the most plugged job ever. And so from there, I started connecting with other people, and I would get jobs. Like I started working with this one guy who got me a job as a roadie. I was a roadie for a long time, and he would do a lot of the outdoor sound events at like Stone Mountain Park, different places like that. So I got to roadie for people like the White Stripes. And Erykah Badu and like all these people when they would do these lives, they would do these live shows because I was working for this guy that I had met during that time at DART, and I would roadie, just freelance roadieing, getting to work on these shows. So that's actually how my career started. I feel like I had a lot of starts and fails. So I have a lot of starting points, but that first starting point was in music. It was interning at DART with Dallas.
Man, we need to get Dallas on the show.
For sure. I'm going to hit him. Yeah, I'm going to hit him because we definitely got to get him.
You know what's the trip? So here goes a story that a lot of people don't know. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this lady named Miss Andretta Tillman. If y'all not, y'all need to Google it.
She used to manage Destiny's Child, right? She used to manage Destiny's Child,
Yeah, so I used to be in a rap group, and Miss Andretta Tillman used to manage me in this rap group before Destiny's Child blew up. Wow. We all was in the same damn house. Like, literally, she'll have LaToya over there, and who else was it? Latavia come through. I be in one of the rooms. She was managing an R&B group, which was some real good friends of mine named Flaj. Wow. So it was a 4-man R&B group. It was 2 rappers, me and my boy Trey, and then it was Destiny's Child. But I think they was either Girls Time back then, or either Destiny. I think it was just Destiny without the child. So yeah, it was in between that. So then we all was cool, and Miss Ann ended up passing away because of lupus. She had lupus, so when she passed away, the little family that she created, like we all kind of just went our separate ways. Me and my boy Trey was rapping, R&B group. We, you know what I mean? So it kind of spread apart. And then Matthew took over managing Destiny's Child, and we really didn't even get to see them no more. They was out of here. You know what I mean? They ended up hooking up with Wyclef, and boom, they was out of here. We couldn't find them no more. So then, fast forward a few years later, Ghetto Boys. So Flaj ended up singing on this song called "The World Is a Ghetto" for Ghetto Boys. Nice. And they sung on that song, and I'll never forget Scarface. I followed Scarface. He pulled up to the house in this big old ass Benz, this green Mercedes Benz, wide body. And we followed him all the way to the studio, to J. Prince Ranch. It was about an hour drive outside of Houston. And I'm in my little Sonata, little raggedy car, and it's 5, 6 people in this car, and we all following Scarface to go to the studio to lay this damn hook to this song. Man, it was so dope because we all in the car. Man, I can't believe, man, we following Scarface, man. We on our way to the studio. We this and this. I'm 16 years old. I think I had just got my license or something. And we young, and we so happy that we in there with Scarface. And the song they recorded, "The World Is a Ghetto," ended up going gold. So that was like one of my first experiences of really just knowing that I could actually make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those are the experiences that you need in order to keep going. And so that's why I always give so much credit to Dallas. Even though like during that time I didn't really interact with Dallas that much. Like, you know, I didn't like, it wasn't like I was like working with him directly. Right. But I still give him the love and the props because it's just like the opportunity and you creating that environment and that space so that somebody like me could come there. Because sometimes I wonder if Dallas even like remembers me. You know what I'm saying? Right. He always be like, I remember you. But I, you know, and I'm saying that to say, but when you create a space like that where you touch that many people, you know what I'm saying? You create opportunities for people you may not even remember or talk to or whatever the case may be, because it's the same thing with working for Tyler. I was Tyler's production secretary on Medea's family reunion.
How was that? Working with him?
Like, man, it's the same kind of thing. It's like I didn't spend a lot of personal time, you know, with Tyler, but I'm just in the space and the environment where anything could happen, right? Man. And you're learning like crazy, because it's like how I even got the job working for Tyler was I had worked on Being Bobby Brown, so I'll come back to that later. Yeah, I had worked on Being Bobby Brown, and Katie Trobes, who was our production coordinator on Being Bobby Brown. I had left Being Bobby Brown, went over to the Atlanta Ballet, and I was looking for a job. And I hit Katie Trobes, who had worked on Being Bobby Brown, and told her I was looking for a job. And she got me hired as an office PA on Medea's family reunion. Keep in mind, when I go over there to be an office PA on Medea's family reunion, they had just wrapped Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which means Tyler had not even had a movie out in the world yet. The only thing he had going on that had been going on was the plays. Yeah, he was big from the plays. So while we were filming Being Bobby Brown, they were filming Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And so I left, went over to the Atlanta Ballet, worked over there for a little while. While I was over there, we did a Quimini, the Outcast Ballet, and then I went over. I called Katie. She the way she described Tyler. Because she's an older white lady, so she ain't been watching the plays. You know what I'm saying? All she knows is I just wrapped this movie with him. He getting ready to do another movie. So when she described where I was going to be working, where this job opportunity was, where she needed me to fill out the paper, she never even said his name. She said, it's this young black man. I just wrapped one show with him. Because in the movie business, whether it's a TV show, a movie, or whatever, we call it all a show, right? Yeah. So if people who actually work set, they'll say a show. So she was like, I just wrapped this one show with him. And we get ready to do another show. I need another office PA over here if you want to come over here and do that. Damn. And I was like, yeah, no, that's cool. At that point, I just need a job, any job. Right. So I was just like, yeah, I'll come over there and do that. She was like, yeah, he's got like this little facility, but we're looking for a sound stage to shoot the movie on. But right now he's got like this little distribution facility that he has, and we're working out of there until the sound stage gets secured. So I'm like, oh, okay. Pull up to the building. Tyler Perry on the outside. I'm like, oh, fuck me. Like, no idea where I was even headed to. But, you know, I'm black, so I've been watching the plays. Of course, I know who Tyler is. You know, he already, you know, beasting in the black community. So I was like, oh, shit. So I ended up being the office PA. But I worked so hard, and I went so above and beyond and did so much extra stuff that Roger Bob, shouts out to Roger Bob. Roger Bob was the first AD over there at the time. Roger Bob had them bump my credit to make me have me listed as the production secretary, which is above an office PA. So if you actually go on IMDb and look at my credit on Medea's family reunion, it says production secretary. But yeah, I wrapped that show. And I was actually starting House of Pain with them. I got through prep of House of Pain when he was just shooting 100 episodes himself. But I was pregnant with my son at the time, who's now 18. I was pregnant with my son at the time, and they put me on bed rest, so I had to leave House of Pain. And I stayed gone for a while.
How old were you when you had your son?
I was 30.
Wow.
So I was 29 when I got pregnant. I was 30. And he's a little miracle baby. He wasn't even supposed to make it here. Man. And yeah, I got diagnosed with cervical cancer while I was pregnant with him.
Oh my goodness!
So I had to carry him with the cervical cancer, and they couldn't. Yeah, and they couldn't treat me because I was pregnant. So the first doctor that I went to told me that he tried to talk me into having a ethical, legal, medical abortion. Because he was like, all the hormones he was like, all the hormones that you're producing during this pregnancy is going to cause the cancer to speed up. It's going to kill both of you. And so somebody told me like, no, it's this Jamaican doctor, this Jamaican OB named Dr. Lou that's over at Atlanta Medical that's cold. Like people he has gotten triplets through. He's doing research now on birthing. Like you need to go see Dr. Lou, this Jamaican doctor. And I went to go see Dr. Lou and I told him what the first doctor said. He said, what? He was like, we're going to get you and this baby here fine. He's like, I got a perinatal specialist over at Emory. Not even Emory yet. Was it still Crawford Long Hospital? It was like Crawford Long Hospital still. He was like, and he was at Atlanta Medical. And he was like, I got a perinatal specialist. One of my brothers that went to medical school with me in Morehouse. He was like, between the two of us, we're gonna get you through, and we're gonna get this baby here. Sure enough, they did it. My son turned 18 on Monday. So yeah, but it's like that. So I left TPS because of all of that. And then when my son was about 2, I came back and I can do bad all by myself. But, it's 12-hour workday over there. Man. And when I would leave in the morning, my baby would be asleep. And I'd get home at night and my baby would be asleep.
Working like a Hebrew.
Right,
man.
Exactly. And so I was like, when I told myself when I rap.
Were you in school too at the time? Or?
Yeah, I was in school at the time at Art Institute. I was going to school at the Art Institute, trying to finish up my degree. And then working at TPS, I was doing most of my classes on weekends and at night. I mean, not at night, weekends and online, and going to school. And it was just too much. And my baby called my mama one day, and that shit broke my heart in 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 pieces. And I was like, when I wrap this show, I need to take a break until he's older. And that's how I end up leaving TPS.
That's cold. That's pimping, man. You know what? One of the best things that I ever did, I like to tell people. I ended up dropping out of college. Like right after I graduated from high school, I went to college for that first semester, and I went to TSU. And I looked around that big ass campus, man, and it was like, it just made me feel like I was in a big old ass high school. Yeah. I was like, man, this ain't nothing but a high school that's 10 times bigger than the one I just left. I said, man, I don't want to do this shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I told my mom, I was like, man, don't waste no more money on no college or none of this. Just let me do my thing real quick and just see what happened. So I told her, don't spend no money on college. I ended up spending my own money. I went to a community college called Town and Country Community College. And they had audio classes. It was the only school in the city that had live talent management. They had digital audio technology, all of the audio classes. They had music industry courses. They had like a music program. Yeah. So I took that. I went there. I paid my own way, and I took every audio music class they had, and that was the best shit I ever did.
Smartest
ever.
I'm
ever.
Firm believer in trade education.
Man, look. And the cool part about it, what I did was when I learned how to mix and master and record and all of the audio stuff and learn frequencies and microphones and learning about all of this shit, I applied it to my little studio I had in the garage that I was making. I was cutting my hair in, and I bought all that equipment. My mom's bought me a beat machine. And my brother had a beat machine, and you know what I mean? It just made me want to just do it because I was going to school. And the next thing you knew, man, studio was booming. I had to tell people they couldn't get in the studio because it was so packed in there.
So how did you end up getting out of that space? So what was the next space you transitioned? Because you obviously outgrew that space.
Yeah. What happened after that? I mean, fast forward to when Pimp went to jail, and when he got out of jail, I think that was 2006. No. Let me back up. My brother ended up going to jail early 2000s. And then I ended up moving to my grandmother's house. My parents ended up getting a divorce after high school. And I moved in at my grandmother's house. My brother was in jail. So I built a studio in my grandma's house. And I'm waiting for my brother to get out of jail so we could turn up again. So he finally gets out of jail. Fast fast forward a couple more years later, Pimp got out of jail. And boy, when Pimp was out of jail, we turned up, man. It was just a whole nother ball game after that. It was just nonstop everywhere.
What was that
it was
like?
popping.
Like being mentored by Pimp C. Like
Man.
that is a crazy thing to say out loud.
I know, right? He was definitely, he did not bite his tongue. He straight up tell me if that shit was trash, it was trash. And I had to come on with it. It was just, you know what I mean? I ended up meeting Pimp. It was in the early 90s through my brother. My brother went to Lamar University in Beaumont. So he was pretty popular on campus. He ended up buying Pimp C's Cadillac, and they became really good friends. So fast forward a few years later, you know, Pimp started to notice that I was starting to get a little big in the city, rapping and producing, and you know, I did a lot of stuff with Big Mike. 1997, Big Mike took me on tour of the Ghetto Boys. Mm-hmm. So I went on tour with him. I'm rapping with him, and Pimp sitting back noticing all this shit because he's still running with my brother, mm-hmm. and he always asks about me, man, what your little brother doing, man? What he up to? I see he running around with Big Mike. He over there with Face. Oh, okay, he over there with, you know what I mean? He just be just looking from afar. And then, you know, finally when I got to work with him, it was just crazy. I produced on his first solo album. I produced on it, rapped on it. But you know what? The crazy part about it, a lot of people think that producing all of the beats for Pimp C is what blew me up. But the song that really blew me up was Devin the Dude. I produced Anything Is Plenty for Devin the Dude.
Whoa.
And boy, when I tell you, everybody in the city wanted beats after that. Like, niggas was not looking for no beats from me until after I made that beat for Devin. So shout out to Devin the Dude, man. He turned me all the way up with that one.
So and when everybody thinks of you, of course, obviously the
UGK.
first thing they think UGK. They like, I want to know what's going on with UGK, but Devin the Dude. But you also had your hands on a lot of Houston. I mean, you've had your hand on the world, but a lot of the Houston legends, like you've touched in some way. Now, you know who one of my favorite Houston legends is.
Power to the wall. Power Wow, baby.
Power Wow, you know, I love. They say, what it do, Pippin? It's the ice girl, Kimbo. Got your mouth looking something like a Mr. Ball. Like, that's people, I say that to people all the time. I be like, it's the ice Pimp Kimbo.
Oh, love, man.
Because that's it. I love Paul Wall. So, who are some of the other, like, Houston people who were just part of that journey for you?
All of them. I'm going to start off with Slim because I went to high school with Slim Thug.
Really?
When he was in the 10th grade, I was in the 12th grade, and we both from Acres Home, so he used to always come to my studio. I recorded his first album, all of his first stuff, you know what I mean? So pretty much I had, I don't want to say the primary studio, but I had the top 3 studios in Houston. I was probably the third best studio in Houston, so everybody would come through. Slim Thug, Power Wow, Chameleon Now, Mike Jones, Ghetto Boys, Devin, whoever you can think of, even whenever people would come in from out of town and they wanted to work with UGK. David Banner would come to town, Talib Kweli and Rick Ross, and I recorded all them guys back in 02, 03, 04. I'm in there with Ross. Yeah. Ain't nobody know who he was. Wow. Akon came to my studio. Ain't nobody knew who he was. I had Drake then came to my studio, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, back in the early 2000s.
So just because...
That's a trip, right?
No, it's crazy the amount of people that you have touched base with and also the amount of people you have recorded. Yeah. Because you are just as infamously known for video recording sessions and experiences and all of that as you are... you know, with all of your music stuff. So tell them about the documentary and all the footage you've collected.
Man, well, I can't get too deep into what I got, but boy. A lot of those sessions, I would whip out my little handy cam, you know what I mean? And I would definitely get some footage. So a lot of times we would go on tour, like if I go on tour with Pimp or go on tour with Bun or just be at a video shoot or at a show, I would always have my little hustle bag. Mm-hmm. I had a bag always. I have my mixtapes will be in there, my beat CD will be in there, and my damn video camera. And I kept it everywhere I went. Boom, I'm just pulling it out, filming everything, no matter what. I'm passing you a CD, here you go. Oh, okay, you need beats? Bam, here you go. And I'm just chilling in the cut with a camera, filming everything. So I literally documented about 20 years of just a whole lot of pimping, man. So, you know what I'm talking about? Coming soon, that's all I'm going to say.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. What's up with it, man? It's your boy, Cory Mo. I need everybody to go and download the mobile app, Country Rap Tunes Radio, 24/7 non-stop Southern hip-hop. All your favorite throwbacks. It's available on Android and it's available on iPhone. Also, I need you to log on to countryraptunes.com, support a player. If y'all looking for that fly merch, you already know what it is. Also, you can get all your exclusive Country Rap Tunes podcasts there. Everything involving Country Rap Tunes. You know where to go. You know what to do. Holla at your boy. Chech.
Country Rap Tunes.
Tell me about your viral moment when you was on Breakfast Club and you turned up on them boy, man.
So it's funny because the video that went viral that everybody wanted to talk to me about, they man, it's one of those things where like that video shouldn't even have happened because I was supposed to be pulling up on Kevin. Y'all don't see Kevin, but Kevin is over here. And Alvin, y'all don't see Alvin, but Alvin's over here. I was supposed to be pulling up on Kevin and Alvin because a homeboy of ours had just got out of jail and he was having a welcome home party. So we was all supposed to meet up, Frank. We was all supposed to meet up at our homeboy's welcome home party, and I got a phone call from David Jones. David Jones had been working with us on a scripted series that we have been trying to put together. He had been our cameraman on that. And so he called me and was like, hey, I've been out here filming a lot of stuff that's going on with the civil unrest. This is right after George Floyd gets killed in 2020. He's like, I'm doing some recording today. I want to know if you can meet me, downtown and maybe do like some man on the street for me, like, do some interviews and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll do that. So I called Kevin and Alvin. I'm like, yeah, I'm finna go do this thing with David real quick. So tell Frank I love him, but I'm not going to make the thing. Or I was like, if it gets over with quick enough, I'll leave there and meet y'all. But, and my all intentions, like, we have been waiting on Frank to get out. So it was like, all of my intentions was to go to the homies' party. But it was like, something in my spirit was like, you got to go and do this thing with David. Like, I was telling them, I'm going to just do it real quick and then I'm going to meet y'all. I ain't know how the day was going to turn out. So I go down to do the man on the street with David Jones. And I'm interviewing people, and there's all these black people down there, like, cleaning up. So this is the day after civil unrest in Atlanta. So this is after they went through and, like looted the hell out of Buckhead. This is, we're meeting down in front of the CNN Center where it started, where there was thousands of people outside the day before. And it's funny because one of my best friends, Yanaja Lone Wolf, she's an activist. She's Capadonna from Wu-Tang, his wife. She actually put that protest together, and I wouldn't be telling nothing she wouldn't tell nobody. Like, she put everything together, and we was all down there at the CNN Center, but she had gotten diagnosed with cancer that morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So she came to make sure everything was straight and that everything was set up in the way that it was supposed to be. But then our brothers, Marcus and Gerald Griggs, told her to go home because they was like, sis, you just got that news today. Like, and listen, Yanaja High is used to, like, it don't matter what it is. I'm going to stand 10 toes down. You got to keep in mind, she's Minister Louis Farrakhan's granddaughter.
Oh, man.
Right. So, this is Cap's wife and Farrakhan's granddaughter,
Sheesh. And
her mother was a legendary Native American fighter, Juanetta Lone Wolf.
You better not mess with her.
Not at all, like, you know what I'm saying. And she has another son with Mike Rashid. So it's like this girl is built for it tough. But everybody told her to go home. So anyway, I'm down there interviewing people the day after the civil unrest, after her protest and everything, and I'm noticing that all these black people are saying that they're down there cleaning up not because they're concerned about what happened with George Floyd, not because they want to keep their community straight. They're all saying in so many words it's because they worried about what white people will think of us because of the riots. And that shit rubbed me the wrong fucking way. It did. Because I'm like, you could have gave me any fucking reason but that. You know what I'm saying? And so...
You had to turn up on him.
Man, so I started talking, and David was just like, hang on. And he grabbed his camera, and he started recording. And people always say that I like educated America, but I'm like, I did start educating America once I got going. But if you listen to the first minute, I'm checking black folks. Because I said I've been hearing a lot of things, especially from wealthy black folks. And so me starting that conversation was first me addressing us. And then I addressed America after that. So that 7 minutes of that video, I honestly, like, it sounds crazy to say, but I feel like the ancestors took over. Like, I blacked out. I didn't even know those words was coming out of my mouth. I didn't even recall that night what I had said. And David went home and was showing the footage to his wife. And his wife was like, I mean, I know you waiting on the documentary, but that clip of Kim, like, the world needs that clip of Kim right now. And so me, David, Alvin, Kevin, we all got on the phone because we had all been working and talking about doing a documentary together. And we all got on the phone and we all agreed that we was going to release that clip. You know, we was going to release that clip that night. And so I released the clip. You know, well, David released the clip and we all shared it and stuff. You know, we didn't think nothing of it. There's this famous artist, Ernesto, out in Cali, that famous art piece that went viral back then with the girl, above it said, "I can't breathe," and the girl had her fist up and she had the mask on. So Ernesto painted that. So Ernesto was a friend of mine, and he saw it, and his friend said, Ernesto said, can you send him a clean copy of the video? He want to post it on his page. And so I sent it to her, and Ernesto posted it on his page, and it went viral from Ernesto's page. Because Ernesto had like 30,000 followers at the time. I had like 3,000 followers at the time. Ernesto had like 30,000 followers at the time, but they were saturated with people who were part of the movement, who were part of this kind of language and conversation. And they start sharing it from Ernesto's page. So Alvin will tell you, Alvin and Kevin will tell you, I had like 3,000 followers. We were in the car just watching my followers tick up on Instagram. It went from 3,000 to 30,000 to 60,000 to 100,000. We're like to 200,000, and we're just in a matter of 24 hours. We would, every time I would open my Instagram up, another 10,000 people would have followed me, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what happened? Like, what is this?" Yeah, we were scared. We was like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? I had no followers on Twitter. I ended up having 100,000 followers on Twitter. Damn. So it was like, and we were.
That's going viral.
Yeah, it was super viral. And then it was the people who were posting it. Because Madonna posted it. LeBron James posted it. What? Viola Davis posted it. Don Cheadle posted it. Like, it was Mario Van Peebles. Like, every couple minutes, Sharon Stone. Like, every couple minutes, I would get a hit from a friend. Like, you on Sharon Stone's page? Holy shit, Madonna just posted you. And then somebody called me and said, Kim, he ain't post a video, but he just tweeted at you. LeBron James just tweeted at you. Damn. And I was like, oh shit. And then my phone started ringing, and it was The Daily Show. And that's still when Trevor Noah was on it. And they was like, we want to get you on The Daily Show. And then Good Morning America called me, and CBS this morning. Yeah, CBS this morning called me. Then Oprah did a town hall.
I was about to say, you be kicking it with Oprah too, don't you?
Yeah, Oprah did a town hall with like her, Ava DuVernay, all of these people. And there's a whole 10-minute segment of the town hall where they're talking about me in this video. And how Ava DuVernay got the video and started sending it to people. And her and Oprah have a whole conversation about, Ava didn't think I was going to like the video, but I told her I could take a little cussing. And so it was like, it went from being this struggling artist trying to figure out, and in 24 hours, this viral video changed everything. Warner Brothers hit my manager at the time, Duprano, and was like, hey, we've been looking at her online, and we see she's a filmmaker. I got an overall TV deal at Warner Brothers TV. Revolt called me and wanted me to start doing Revolt Black News. Like, in 24, they will tell you they was there. In 24 hours, everything about my life changed.
I did not know that.
After over 20 years of working in the business, struggling in the business, all of this, a fucking viral video changed everything.
Ain't that a bitch?
All the iPhones were real.
Yeah.
Not just everybody was trying to get the Kim.
Yeah.
We sitting there trying to make up tour dates.
Yeah. And I'm talking about not even just in the States, around the world. I was doing BBC News. They'll tell you I would have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because I would be doing news in like Turkey, Japan, in the UAB, all like for like a month straight. I was doing press 12 hours a day. Oh, in Ghent, Belgium, they put up a 50-meter wall in my honor.
In Belgium?
In Ghent, Belgium, they put up a 50-meter wall in my honor with my words on there. So Diddy put up all these Ciroc billboards all around the country with my quotes on them. GQ Germany made me their voice of the year. Route 100 listed me as one of the most influential African Americans in the country. Like, it just did, like, for like about 6 months straight, it just did not stop. It was full throttle.
I know. I looked up and saw you on Breakfast Club. I was like, man, what in the hell is going on? Is that Kimbo Sliss Naive?
Yeah, that one video. Like, and I will say this, right? And then I'll leave this alone. But the interesting part about it is I did over 20 years of work. And people will say, a viral video is the thing that made people, know who I am and put me on the map and blah, blah, blah. But it was all the work that I had done leading up to that moment that made it so that just like anybody else who hasn't gone viral, it wasn't I was viral today and you forgot me tomorrow. Because when people started to Google me and look me up, they would be like, oh shit, she worked on being Bobby Brown. Oh shit, she used to work for Tyler Perry. Oh shit, she used to work at Miramax. And the biggest kicker was people would be like, oh shit, she's an author. She has a book. Kevin, I'm going to tell you, my book had been out for a year and it had an okay success. It was having like a meteoric rise. I had been nominated for the NAACP Image Award for it. Different things had happened with it. But it didn't make the New York Times bestseller list until after that video went viral. People started looking for me. Then it stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for 3 weeks straight. But the book was over a year old. The book wasn't nothing new. The book had been out for a while. So it was like, all the work that I had done leading up to that, because if I said did, my mom would roll over in her grave because she'd correct your English quick. But all of the work that I had done leading up to that moment, having that moment, all it did was shine a light on my 25-year career, and I had something tangible and enough people in the business over the years who had worked with me to be like, oh yeah, she used to be my intern, or yeah, she used to work over here with such and such. Oh yeah, she used to be over there with Ball and G and them and doing this, that, and the third. So it was having all that work that made that one viral moment do what it did. But speaking of pimping moments, my nigga, you won a Grammy this year.
Oh man, hold up, man. Tabernacle. I can't believe it, right?
What was that journey like? And how, first of all, tell us about the record. Tell us about when you found out you was nominated.
Man.
Tell us about what it was like to be at the awards. We want to hear it all.
Man, that damn song now got a serious story. All right, so shout out to the homie Killer Mike, know what I'm talking about, and CeeLo Green. So the song started in my old studio on Candler Road. It had to be 2000, maybe 15 or 16. I ended up making that beat. Yeah. And it was a Curtis Mayfield sample. I don't know why I was bumping Curtis for like a week straight. And then I ended up hearing that piece and I sampled it. And in my mind, I was producing it for Scarface. A lot of times whenever I make beats, I say to myself, man, I'm finna do this beat for Jay-Z. I'm finna do this beat for Kanye. And just in my mind, that's who I'm doing the beat for. Yeah. Just to make the beat come out more jamming. I would psych myself and say that. So I psych myself, I say, man, I'm finna do this beat for Scarface. So I'm making the beat and it come out so jamming, but I ended up doing something else. So the beat just sat in my hard drive for about 2-3 years. Next thing I knew, Killer Mike came through. His grandmother lived around the corner in Tony Valley. And I ended up kicking it with Killer Mike. He came through and laid some vocals and laid a song or something. And I ended up playing it for him. And he was like, man, that motherfucker out. Man, what is that? You know what I mean? So he ended up doing something to it, but he didn't finish it. Yeah. So fast forward another 3 years, 2019, I went to Stankonia. Killer Mike is in there working on some shit. I played the beat. I say, man, remember that beat? Here go the beat. So he was like, man, let me hear that shit. He jumps in the booth, lays maybe the first verse, half the first verse, and then he stopped. I don't know what happened. He got a call from his wife or something, and he was like, man, I gotta go. I can't finish it. I gotta go. Boom, he disappeared. 2 more years later, he come back to that song and finish. He laid more to the song, and it still wasn't finished because it didn't have a hook. I told Kill, I'm like, man, we need a hook on this hoe. We need some singing. We need something. So fast forward maybe another year later, the song's still sitting in my hard drive. My first time working with CeeLo. CeeLo comes to the studio to lay a feature for a song on the new Goody Mob album. And he just was gonna lay a verse and leave. He laid the verse. I said, CeeLo, is it cool if I play some beats for you, bro? I might have something you might like. Hell yeah, man, play something. Shit. I played that goddamn song. It came on. He heard Killer Mike. I say, man, you ever did a song with Killer Mike? Nah, I ain't never done nothing with Killer Mike. I say, man, you been knowing Killer for 20 years. Y'all ain't never done a song?
I can't even believe that that's so.
I turned that song on. That nigga got up and walked in that booth. He started singing on that thing. I text that boy Mike. I sent Mike a text. I say, Mike, I got CeeLo on the song. That nigga hit me back with so many damn fire emojis and all kinds of shit. So fast forward, man, it just happened. I can't even explain it, but long story short, it took about 6 or 7 years to manifest that song. And when it got nominated for a Grammy, I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. And when they called that boy name, man, I was like, you gotta be. We won this shit. All right, so CeeLo, matter of fact, CeeLo was in LA. I was in LA. And I was leaving Brian Cox's party. He had a brunch. He was honoring the dream at a Grammy brunch. Mm-hmm. As soon as I left, it was pouring down rain. As soon as I left, I get a text from CeeLo talking about congratulations. I say, wait, congratulations? What you mean, nigga? He said we won, and I promise you, I didn't know what he was talking about. I say won what? Because the Grammys haven't started.
Yeah.
I thought the Grammys was gonna start later in the afternoon, but they do that shit early.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
This nigga hit me back and say, nigga, we won the Grammy. I say, hell no. Man, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm calling my mama, I'm calling people, man, we won, nigga, we won, oh shit. And man, I mean, that's it. I can't say more than that. It was just a trip, man. It's a blessing, and shout out to Killer Mike and CeeLo, man. Straight up. That's some real live pimping right there.
No, but first of all, a Cory Mo beat with Killer Mike flowing over it,
rapping his ass
off, and the goddamn CeeLo hook.
I mean,
how could it? How could you lose?
Shout out to CeeLo, man. And got nominated for Best Jazz Album. I got nominated for 2 Grammys. Right. So shout out to Bob James. Me and CeeLo ended up working with Bob James on about 2 or 3 songs, and one of those songs was nominated for a Grammy. So that was my first time ever even being in LA during the Grammys, nominated, any of that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? It was a real dope experience.
I love that.
It was dope.
So all of this is happening here in Atlanta. What caused you to move to Atlanta? How did you end up in Atlanta?
Well, that's kind of a sad story. So after Pimp C passed away, me and my brother was like, man, fuck this shit, man. Like, we ain't even want to do nothing. My brother don't even do music no more because it took so much out of him that Pimp passed.
Yeah.
But I ended up moving to Atlanta. I was like, no, my brother was like, man, let's just go to Atlanta, bro. Let's pack up and go to Atlanta. And I say, for real? I say, you bullshit. So a few months after Pimp passed, me and my brother flew to Atlanta. We got us a rental car, a little bitty ass, one of the little economy rental cars, a little small. We rode around the city, and we was looking for a big ass house so that it'll be the same way how it was in Houston. So we found a big old ass house in Decatur. Man, believe it or not, but the damn rent wasn't nothing but $1,000 a month, and I had 8 rooms. It was 8 rooms in this house.
Wait, is this the house that I used to come to that used to have the what's the name in the garage? No, that was the house after that.
Yeah, it was probably after that.
Yeah. It was
Nah, this the one on Candler Road over there by.
This the one Scotty ATL was talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is. I was in the trenches, so this is in a
the
neighborhood.
one I used to come to was nice. They used to have a press shop in the garage.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's on Wesley Chapel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the house over there. We turned up. It was ridiculous. I had everybody and their mama up in that studio, and it just turned into a dynasty over there, man. I can't even explain it, but so my brother ended up moving to Atlanta with me for that first year just to make sure that I had all of my shit, that I knew people, I had my feet planted, and then he ended up leaving and moving back to Houston. I stayed in Atlanta. So I called Greg Street and I called Jazzy Faye. And that's the only 2 people I needed, because Jazzy Faye kept me in the mix, and Greg Street, I started giving away studio time just like I did in Houston at the talent contest. Yeah. Greg Street was at what's the name of the place? I think I had mentioned it on the show before. What's the Bankhead club? Club Crucial.
Oh wow.
Greg Street was doing a talent contest every week at Club Crucial, and he let me give away studio time to the winner. So every week I had some of the dopest Atlanta artists in my studio for like 2 years straight.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back,
You ain't
Corey.
lying. You ain't lying. Greg turned me up, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg Street.
We need to call
man.
Greg every day. So
Yeah.
tell them about the day you met me.
Oh Lord Jesus. Where was we at Icon?
Yep, at Icon Studios.
Yup. Drummer Boy, Gangsta Boo,
Rest in peace, gangster.
Ball MJG. Everybody was there, man. That was one hell of a day.
That was a night.
Yeah.
Greg Street was there.
Greg Street was there too?
Greg Street was there too.
Man, that was
It
off
was a
the
night.
chain.
Yes, and so I was.
Yeah, you could probably explain it better than me.
Yeah, because you're not telling it right.
Go on, tell it, girl.
I was at the time I was prepping because I shot a proof of concept for the A-Ball and MJG biopic coming out hard. And so we were prepping. My friends January and Tony had written it, and shouts out to Deprano. Deprano had put the Ball and G's manager that owns Pushing Stuff with them. Deprano had put the whole play together. That we were going to shoot this proof of concept to put it out in the world and try to make their full biopic. And so Deprano and Ball and G executive produced it. Tony and January wrote it, and I was directing it.
Shout out to January.
Yeah, January. And so we had been going up to Memphis, spending time with Ball and G to learn them and to get to know their story. And then every time they would be in Atlanta, anytime they would be in Atlanta, Deprano would call me, January, and Tony to go with them wherever they were going so that we could be learning them, getting the vibes for them, feeling for them. And at the time, Deprano was managing us. We had a crew. He had put together a crew. He was managing a crew of women called a Superwoman Squad. And there was a whole bunch of
I made some T-shirts for y'all.
Yep.
Sure
Yep,
did.
you sure did. Yep.
Damn, I remember that shit.
Yep. We had a little crew called a Superwoman Squad that we had put together, and he was managing us, and it was a whole crew of women in different parts of production. It was costumers in it, it was stunt girls in it, it was makeup artists in it, it was writers, it was directors, it was producers. It was a crew of women called a Superwoman Squad that moved as a unit and made movies and TV shows. And Superwoman Squad was going to make the A-Ball and MJG biopic, and I was directing it. And people was finding out about it, and people was blown away because they was like, "Oh shit, it's a woman. They got a female director for the Ball and G." But then people with me be like, "Yeah, that nigga can do it. That nigga be niggering like niggering has never niggered before." So, So they ended up.
You ain't gotta like it, but you gotta respect.
So basically, everywhere Ball and G would go, we would go with them.
Yeah.
And so that night, Deprano called us and was like, "Hey, we're up here at Icon. You know, come meet us up here." And it just so happened that everybody was up at Icon.
Yeah.
That's the night everybody was up there.
I think Gangsta Boo told me to come up there.
See, Gangsta Boo, Greg Street, everybody was just up there kicking, and it was just like a vibe all night. And then me and you met and connected, and we ain't let each other go.
I know, right? Damn, we've been locked in.
And that been almost a decade ago.
We've been locked in.
Yes, that's been like 7-8 years ago, and we just, I don't know, we just was instant family, and we just like it was two people from that night that I like. Nothing ever changed from that night. Like we've been locked in every night, and that's you and Drummer. And you know what's so crazy? Shouts out to my baby Drummer. Drummer just had his son.
Oh yeah.
His son was born the day my son turned 18. So his son and my son now share a birthday.
That's dope.
But it was like I text Drummer and I was like, this is so crazy. Your baby boy is brand new and in this world, and my baby boy is turning 18 today. I gotta let him go today.
Wow. That's a trip.
Ain't that wild?
That's gangster. Shout out to Drummer Boy, man.
Shout out to Drummer. Congratulations to him and the wifey on the new baby.
So look, before we get out of here, I know we probably got a couple more questions, but tell me, what is your dream project to make?
I got a few.
I got us speechless, y'all. This is a first.
Because I got a few. I'm trying to think which would be the one. Because I got like 4 that is like before I
need the one.
Before I leave this earth, I gotta make them.
Come on, Cletus. Time's up. That's it. It's over.
I think it's coming out hard. I think my spirit is not gonna rest
until you get that.
Until I make Coming Out Hard. Until I fully make Coming Out Hard, because we
need to make that happen, man.
Yeah, like first of all, Ball and G from the day they met me have done nothing but be the best big brothers ever, and show me so much love and kindness. And even with the video going viral and the different things I've done, I think the thing that has had the most positive effect on my career was knowing them. Like having them as mentors. Because
that's dope.
Yeah, because the rooms that, push put me in, the people that I still have relationships, even me and you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the rooms and stuff that Push has put me in, the places I've been, that viral sent my career off, but the maintenance has been due to all the relationships that I have because of Duprano and Ball and G. So the maintenance is because of them. And because getting that stamp from them early on, like, even if people, it meant a lot. And even people who may have known me, who may have seen me around the business and stuff, you see the difference in the switch in people. The way in which people handled me became very different after it was like Ball and G was like, no, that's our little sister.
Yeah.
Like, she's with us. Yep. So
trust me, I know the feeling, man.
Yeah. So it's like, to give them their props and for the world to see them for who they really are, and for the world to really understand how much of an impact 8Ball and MJG had on the music game. I don't think they get all the credit that's due them. Like, that's I can't rest until Coming Out Hard is fully in fruition.
They are definitely some of the forefathers of country rap tunes, for sure.
Without question.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite country rap tune?
Ooh, man. What?
You get one. You don't let me have one. You get one.
Country rap tune. Wow. As many times as I've asked that question to people, I've never asked it to myself. I do not know, man. I got hundreds of them. It definitely got to be some Underground King pimping, man. Yeah. High Life. Have y'all ever heard High Life, UGK? Oh, love, man. Boy, that song, I'm tired of living fucked up, tired of living bad, I'm tired of, boy, that's yo. High Life, man, UGK, High Life. Every time I hear that song, it give me the chills, man, because it's just so real. And Pimp was spitting with so much emotion on there, man. It was just, classic. Classic. I love that damn song. So yeah, how many more questions I got for you, girl? Let me see.
I gotta tell you my favorite country rap tune.
Oh, what was yours then?
Space Age Pimpin'.
Of course it is. You gotta love it. You gotta love that. Ball and G just too classic, man.
They just too. Space Age Pimpin' is I could play that song every day.
So look, give me some advice. Well, give the people some advice that you would give to some up and coming writers out there to keep their head on straight. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, first of all, don't aspire to be a great writer. Aspire to be a great editor. You can't edit a blank page. Put some shit on the page and fix it.
Ooh.
Yeah, like don't get in your head about it has to be perfect.
Real.
That's what writer's block is, right? You get in your head about it's
Trying
not
to
going
be so
right,
perfect,
trying to be so perfect, messing it up. It has to be great. And what it has to be is done.
Yeah.
That's all it has to be. It just has to be done. So like, put something on the page, good, bad, or indifferent. Walk away from it, come back to it, and fix it. So I never say I'm a great writer. I say I'm a good editor. I can fix my shit. I can put my bullshit on the page and I can fix it. I can polish the shit out of that turd.
Boy, that girl gonna get a viral moment, boy. I'm telling you. Sheesh. All right, so tell the people what can they expect from you next, like what you got coming up. Matter of fact, wait a minute. How did the damn podcast start with you and this Cory Mo cat?
Because I love Cory so much.
How did that come about, man?
Cory Mo so much. It came about because Country Rap Tunes was already a popping and jamming podcast. Then Cory Mo took a hiatus after the pandemic. And I made a video one day. And I was like, because I had a couple podcasts that I was supposed to be a part of. Me and January was supposed to be doing a podcast called Two Lit Moms. I was supposed to do this podcast with Fab Five Freddy. We was working on a podcast, not through him directly, but through somebody else, and they were trying to put this podcast together that me and Fab would do together, and that never came together. And then I started this podcast called Gold Teeth and Baby Hair. Shouts out to the Gold Teeth and Baby Hair crew.
Gold Teeth and Baby Hair.
Gold Teeth and Baby Hair. We started this podcast called Gold Teeth and Baby Hair, and we all wore a grill on the podcast. We all went and got these custom grill made that fit each of our personality to do Gold Teeth and Baby Hair. And then we had a tragic incident that happened. One of the members of Gold Teeth and Baby Hair, shouts out to Shivy, his son, unfortunately, passed away at a beach in the middle of us filming. And his son died a hero. Shouts out to Bryce. Bryce rescued 3 other kids before the riptide took him. But he saved a group of little kids that was drowning. Nobody was around. He ran out in the water. And so he was 16 years old. And saved 3 kids, and then the riptide took him. And so that kind of put a stall. Gold Teeth and Baby Hair had the most legs, and we have filmed some dope episodes with people like T.C. Carson from Living Single, and like had a whole bunch of dope. Kyle Barker. We had a bunch of dope people on the show, and then we lost Bryce. And the last episode that we were filming, we were interviewing Gary Chambers. And there's a piece of the recording where you can hear all of us saying goodbye to Bryce. He was headed to the beach while we were filming. And so he was leaving the house while we were recording. So you can hear it on the recording, all of us being like, bye, Bryce. See you later. And so I just don't think any of us has had, it's been a year. It's just now been a year. I don't think any of us have had the bandwidth to listen to that.
Wow. To
like hear us all saying goodbye to him for the last time.
Man, that's horrible.
And so all the podcast options kind of fell apart. And so I made this video on Instagram and was like, I really been trying to get a podcast off the ground, and I've pulled, I've had like 3 false starts with podcasts, and it's not working. Like, you have not because you asked not. I want to do a podcast, and you hit me and was like,
I hit you quick. Yeah. Did I leave a comment or did I call you?
Both.
I'm like, man, they're good tripping, man. The hell? You know damn well I'm working on a podcast over here. You better bring your ass over here and sit down. Better sit down,
Come over here and sit down and say something.
Shit. God damn
so
it.
that's how That's how this came together.
That's pimping.
Oh, but you asked me what am I doing now as well. Then I'm gonna ask you what you doing now.
Okay.
I got a plan for my life right now.
Okay,
I'm very focused on the mission.
Mm-hmm. Preach to me. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Tuned in, tapped into the mission. So I'm still an author full time. Is how I make my bread and butter is writing books. But I recently became a literary agent. So I recently became a literary agent.
Tell me about it.
Yes, and so now I will be representing writers. And I am like...
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to be the Toni Morrison of my generation. And she was an author, and she also was a very well-known editor, and she edited some of the dopest books in the world. She edited Angela Davis's book. She edited Muhammad Ali's book. So I'm following the Toni Morrison path. I don't want to be an editor, but as an agent, I want to make sure that I am doing all of my due diligence and whatever I can to get as many of our stories out there in the world. And so I'm very dedicated and committed to my new position as an agent, and just having such a strong history in music and having such a strong history also in social justice. Like, that's where I want to focus my energy, is making sure that people in the music world and people in the social justice world and in the Black economics and business world are getting space through these books. And so, yeah, I want to be the go-to. That's my mission. I want to be the go-to girl for these books. Like, when you want to get these books done, when you want to get these books out there in the world, I'll tell you what.
Happen.
Have not, because you asked not. I'm going to tell y'all what my dream book is.
Hold up.
And I'm about to put his ass on blast on this podcast. So he cannot fight it, and he going to have to do it now. I want Drummer Boy to make a picture book for littles called Little Drummer Boy.
Oh, wow. That's dope. That'll be dope.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about.
I like that. So I'm in a new location now. I'm over here at I'm One Studios. If y'all need some studio time, mixing, mastering, beats, holla at your boy, CoryMo.com. Just bring your bag with you, all right?
Yeah. He don't need no exposure. He got a Grammy, so to have your money to go.
But what I really been working on is really just a bunch of e-commerce. I've been doing my merch. I've been going crazy with the Country Rap Tunes merch.
Get your some.
Country Rap Tunes support Southern hip hop. I'm killing them on the merch, and I'm just focusing on this documentary I'm working on, man. So
the documentary gonna change the game.
It's gonna change the game.
It's gonna change.
And shout out to Kimbo Slice, cause boy, she be putting me in the right rooms at the right time with the right folks. That girl steering me in the right direction, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
See, that's how I know I'm gonna be a co-agent, because it is really on my heart. And like, you know, everybody know I'm a little bit of a pit bull. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little taste. But it really does my heart good to see people win. Like, I want to see good people win. If I could put somebody in position, I would do it. If I could connect them to somebody, I would do it. If I could give them my advice, you know, I will do it, because I feel like if you win, I win. Yeah. That's the way it feels for me. And God has never left me in lack or want. And I think that's because I give so freely, and I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not trying to beat you in the head like, well, I make the play. I'm so tired of people, they going to make the connect, but you got to get them $5,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not like that. Like, if I got... it's going to come back. Yeah, if I got the connect, I want to make it. And so that's why I'm so excited about being an agent, because it's all I've been doing anyway. Now I'm just going to get paid for it.
So you are the plug making plugs.
I'm the plug making plug. Listen, I'm about to get into management. I got one person that I'm managing right now, and I got 2 more people that I'm courting to manage right now. And it's like, that's really the direction that I'm headed in, is really getting deep on my agent and management work, because I'm at the stage, you know, I'm an elder statesman now. I want to see the younger ones win, and I want to be able to do what it is that I can do to make that happen for them.
Doing it for the cheering.
For the cheerings.
That's what's up, man. Well, I think that concludes our wonderful Country Rap Tunes podcast for today, Miss Kimbo. Yes. You got anything else to add? Do anybody got any questions in the building that y'all need to ask us? Is there any questions this week? Is everybody groovy? I think everybody ready to get the hell on about this one.
And let me this what I'll end with. Shout out to the Country Rap crew. Yeah. I don't know if we've done that officially
shout out to everybody
on any episode, but shout out to the Country Rap crew, to our show producer Kevin Bryant, to our director Alvin Agarrat, to our DPs Jackson Aaron, to our production assistant Kiannah. Like, they make it all happen. They bring it all together, and we couldn't do it without them. You gotta know that if you do anything, it takes great people. And usually when you're doing something like this, you gotta turn over 2 or 3 crews and 2 or 3 different things to find the right gel. But this is it. This been the crew since day one, and it's been nothing but lovely working with them. So shout out to the Country Rap crew.
Straight up. That's what's up. I appreciate the love, Kimbo Slice with the dice, but we got to go.
Bye.
Tabernacle Preach, Country Rap Tune Podcast. Know what I'm talking about? We out this thing. Chat.
We've been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory Mo.